Hello, students. What I'm going to be telling you about right now is we are going to take a look at the test for chapter 6. So as soon as my screen is participating here. Okay, test on chapter 6. There's going to be um, 18 problems, or excuse me, 18 true, false, and one problem. The problem is long, and the problem is going to count for 60 points, okay? So be very, very careful on the problem, okay? Let's go through the true and false questions first of all, okay? All right, so first of all, you need to know, um, there is a slide that shows you the, excuse me, yeah, there's a slide that talks to you about the priority of garnishments, okay? And you have to take a look and try to figure out what that priority is. So this is referring to the garnishment slide. The information needed in preparing a journal entry to record the wages earns, deductions from wages, and the net amount paid each payday, is that obtained from the payroll register or from the employee's earnings register? Okay, so remember in chapter, all through payroll, the two big reports that were places where we record data, we're always talking about the payroll register and we're talking about the employee's earnings register. So make sure you know what goes under each one, employees earnings register or payroll register. In all computerized payroll systems, there is still the need to manually post from the printed payroll journal entry to the general ledger. Remember, it's computerized. So if it's computerized, I'm going to give you a hint on this one because we didn't really talk about it. But if it's computerized, that's done for you. So the computer will take care. That's the nice thing. This chapter was very detailed. It has a lot of different details in it. And what happens is if you use computerized systems to help you with payroll, it definitely helps with some of this information. Okay, cool. Payroll register is used by employers in completing the forms W-2. So again, what I want you to do is review. Review what is a payroll register, what that contains, and review the employee's earnings record. And of those two items, which of those would help you complete a W-2 form at the end of the year? The employer keeps track of each employee's accumulated wages in, and once again, we have the choice between the employee's earnings record or the payroll register. Okay, which one is it? The next question is, okay, when you record the employer's payroll taxes, how many liability accounts do you have? Do you have just one, or do you have an account called Employers Payroll Taxes Payable for the total of FICA, FUTA, and SUTA? If you take a look at any of the journal entries we made for the employer's portion of payroll taxes, you will know your answer. The payment of FUTA and SUTA, the payment of FUTA tax and the payment of FICA tax paid by the employer is recorded in the same journal entry. Okay, so again, I want you to review the journal entries that we had, and when we pay FUTA or we pay FICA taxes, is that part of the same entry or is that part of a different entry? Please review and see how we handled that. Okay. In the case of a federal tax levy, who notifies the employer? Is it the employee or is it someone else? I want you to go back through your slides and see who will notify the employer. FICA taxes payable HI is a liability account in which is recorded the liability of the employer for the HI tax on the employer as well as the HI tax withheld from the employee's wages. So basically, remember for FICA taxes payable HI, there's two pieces. There's the employer's piece and there's the employee's piece. Do you need two separate accounts for those two pieces or do they go in the same account? Federal tax levies are not subject to limits imposed on garnishments under the Consumer Credit Protection Act. Federal tax levies, I think if you go to the slide regarding the garnishments and the order of the garnishments, they talked about the Consumer Credit Protection Act, so I would review your slides. Disposable earnings. What is the definition of disposable earnings? Okay, so please review your notes on that. And review when we had to calculate disposable earnings. Was it only federal income taxes or was there something else? Okay. Can direct deposit of paychecks be forced on employees in every state? Can direct deposit of paychecks be forced on employees in every state? I'm going to give you a hint because we didn't really talk about it, okay, that much. Okay, we kind of talked about it indirectly. Okay, but if this were true, then we wouldn't need those pay cards. Okay, so no, this can't be forced on employees, and that's why some employees are paid with those pay cards, which are like direct debit cards. Okay. What you can do is check your PowerPoint for the information about unclaimed paychecks. What happens with unclaimed paychecks? That was in the PowerPoint. Another question is, for the purpose of the federal tax levy, the IRS defines take-home pay as gross pay less taxes withheld and other payroll deductions in effect before the tax levy was received. Again, if you look into our PowerPoint slides, you can see under the federal tax levy and the garnishment stuff, you will find out what you need there. If in case there's multiple wage attachments or garnishments, what is the priority? So you have a slide on that. At the time of depositing FICA taxes and employers' federal income taxes, what account is debited for the employees and the employer's portion of FICA? So go back and review your journal entries. When you are paying, when it says depositing, it means paying FICA taxes. When you pay FICA taxes, what does that journal entry look like? What if there's union dues? Okay. If you have union dues and they've been withheld from employees' wages, and you're paying those union dues, what would you debit? Okay, when you are paying that over to the union. Okay. The employer's OASDI portion of FICA taxes is included as part of the payroll tax entry, but the employer's HI portion of FICA taxes is not. Once again, go to the journal entries and take a look at the journal entry for the employer for payroll taxes, and you will find your answer. And the last question is the problem. And in the problem, lots and lots of journal entries, okay? So what are you going to have to do? You're going to have to journalize payroll. They'll tell you the total amount of wages. They will tell you federal income tax withheld, state income tax withheld, okay? You're going to record payroll taxes. You are going to make a deposit. That means pay the FICA tax liability. You're going to pay the FUTA tax liability. If you guys notice right over here, this answers one of the questions we just went through. Okay, you're going to file state unemployment contributions return and pay the total amount owed. You are going to file the state income tax return and pay the total amount owed. You are going to adjusting entry. You're going to have to do a, oh, this is weird. Why do they not want you to post the entry? Let me just look at this. Okay. The company changed from a semi-monthly pay system to a weekly pay system. The employees were paid every Friday throughout the rest of the year. Record the adjusting entry for wages accrued at the end of December, but not paid until the first Friday in January. Okay, so what I think they want you to do is they just want you to post the entries for that year, but not the January stuff, okay? Also, the company has determined that employees have earned 19,300 in unused vacation time. You're going to have to make a vacation adjusting entry. All right. Now, you have to make your entries here. And right over here, Going to have to post it to the general ledger. Okay. So for example, this is your cash account. So remember, you'll have to post payments as credits, and then you're going to have to calculate. You're going to have to post FICA taxes payable for OASDI, your debit, your credit, and your balance. You are going to have to post the FICA taxes payable HI and the FUTA taxes payable. Um, and SUTA and employee federal income tax payable. So you're going to journalize these entries and you are going to post these entries. Um, all right, so the thing that was bugging me about this particular problem, okay, again, if you look at this and you are not sure how to post this, let me know. But I think you guys are going to do okay. I know we didn't actually practice posting, but you just take your information from your journal and then you post it. Okay. Your posting reference, for example. Um, so this is, your entry for payroll, I believe is like wages and salaries expense. The posting reference should be, let's see, do they not want us to post this one? Let's see, wage and salary expense. Here's wage and salary right here. So wage and salary expense is a debit, and then you can go ahead and add it to the previous balance to get your current balance. Right? So this entry, posting wages and salaries, would have a line number there, and then just your total. Okay, so it'll be a debit or a credit, and then you'll have your balance as a debit or a credit. That's how you're going to do it. All right. The other thing that I wanted to show you is right over here. It says right here. Okay, filed the state unemployment contributions return. So you don't have to actually return in this problem. You're just going to post how you paid for that. You paid the total amount owed for the quarter to the state unemployment compensation fund. Okay. Again, I'm going to leave this up here, and you guys are going to have 2.5 hours on the test. And I'm going to let you take a look at the different type of journal entries you need. And before you take the test, if there's anything you want me to um, reference with you, we will definitely reference. And I apologize. Going back down to the wages and salaries, the posting reference for wages and salaries is going to be account number 51. So I think what they're looking for over here is 51. Hang tight. Let me just check on something for us. Okay, here's what I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you when you have to start recording your entries, what you're going to do is you're going to record your entries for the payroll like this, okay? You're going to debit wages and salaries. The posting reference is going to be, once you post it, it's account one, and the first amount is $9,350, okay? Paid wages of $9,350, okay? That's what that's going to look like, okay? And then I'm going to show you what this looks like in the ledger, general ledger. Wages and salaries, okay. What does that look like when we post in the ledger? What you're going to do is you're going to debit 93.50, and then you're going to add it to the previous total. So this is an example of what an expense account will look like in your general ledger. Okay. So thank you so much. Good luck. I hope everything goes very, very well for you. But if anything right here doesn't make sense, please let me know.